I feel like whoever makes the decisions for the Cincinnati Bengals, get yourself one of those sticky pads and you write down Penei Sewell no matter what. Joe Marino and Kyle Crabbs from the Draft Network. And I'm sure you saw it. Joe Burrow, that left knee, not in place right now.
I'd wish I hadn't seen it.
We're talking
on more levels than one, too, because you hate it for Joe. But it
very
was
much
an ugly, ugly, ugly injury.
Like, that dude captured through what he did at LSU and in the pre-draft process going to Cincinnati. Like, he won over so many people, right?
It's impossible not to like him.
So likable, man. And now we got this guy with a shattered left knee, and we've been pretty critical of Cincinnati and this offensive line situation that they assembled for him as a rookie. And on top of that, asking him to throw the football over 400 times and not even 10 full starts, putting a lot of stress on this young man, Kyle. And if they're going to do that, they got to fix this offensive line. You cannot
build a wall.
You cannot play around again with this going into the 2021 season. The good news is you and I have done some research here. Yeah. Plenty of opportunities for them to improve this offensive line.
We feel like we can build a much more competent group. I know Cincinnati has made some investments, whether it was Billy Price in the first round, and that didn't materialize. And Jonah Williams got hurt his rookie season, and now he's playing his first time now.
Don't forget, they traded for Cordy Glenn, right, to take the 10 picks, and they signed John. They've been trying, okay? It's just not working.
Swinging the bat. It doesn't matter how many times. You got to find that best combo of 5, and that is the science to building an offensive line, right? It's not I need X, Y, and Z. I need the best combination of 5 players that are going to fit our brand of football. So, Joe, with that in mind, you and I have looked at through free agency, the NFL draft, the existing players that they have on their roster, who we feel as though could be pieces of a rebuilt Cincinnati offensive line in 2021 in front of Joe Burrow.
So is it first things first? Like, I know we want to get to free agency and some of the veterans that they should bring in, and they should, right? Like, don't go into this thing and be like, yeah, we fixed our offensive line. We used our first 3 picks on blockers, and they're going to come in and start and solve all of our problems. Like, you need to supplement some young talent with veterans. But I feel like whoever makes the decisions for the Cincinnati Bengals, get yourself one of those sticky pads and you write down Penei Sewell no matter what.
Period. Point blank period. Because they're on track to have a top 3 pick now.
Doesn't matter if you had Jonah Williams. That doesn't matter. You could put him at guard. You could put him at right tackle.
Correct.
Penei Sewell,
best combo of 5. And it's hard knowing you're going to have a top 3 pick with Penei Sewell being here. And there's a lot of really good other offensive tackles in this draft class. They ain't Penei Sewell.
Right. He's different.
Penei Sewell will be a member of any best combo of 5 that you can cook up. Period.
So before you get to the draft, you have free agency. Kyle, I've got a list. I got a list of guys here that I think are starters, some of them like plus starters that Cincinnati has to try to get. Probably at least 1 or 2 of these guys.
Right.
How about Brandon Scherf and Joe Thuney, 2 guys that are plus blockers that played on the franchise tag this year. Who knows if they're going to be back in Washington and New England, respectively. Corey Linsley, a solid interior offensive lineman for the Green Bay Packers. John Feliciano has been a very outstanding player for the Buffalo Bills. They're tight on cap space. Matt Filer, he could play guard and tackle. He's been a nice player for the Pittsburgh Steelers. How about Garrett Bowles? He's coming into his own as a left tackle for Denver. I got more names. Kyle has a thought. What you got?
Yeah, I think those position versatile players are the ones that, especially in free agency, should hold value to Cincinnati more so than anything, because you want to have that flexibility going into the draft. You don't want to say, well, I need to draft a right tackle and a center. Right. Well, no, if you have players that can play guard tackle or center guard and have that left side, right side versatility, like we mentioned with Jonah Williams, that's why I think Jonah Williams is almost immune, right? Because no matter who the other pieces are that they bring in, it's impossible that they're going to find 5 better options than a Jonah Williams who can play guard, he can play tackle on the left side, and he can play tackle on the right side. So anybody that you're going to mention that has positional versatility should be top of the charts for Cincinnati.
And Matt Filer definitely
Yes.
fits that. Few more names here. These are more tackle-only players, but they would be starters. How about Cam Robinson from Jacksonville? He's a free agent. Darrell Williams for the Bills has been a godsend at right tackle. Kelvin Beachum has really looked serviceable for the Arizona Cardinals. And Taylor Moton with the Carolina Panthers. All of these other offensive tackles are getting paid, but for some reason, Moton still has an expiring contract. So, was that 10 names or so of veterans that could hit the market?
Find one. And if he's position versatile, you could go from having 3 or 4 weak links on your offensive line to, if you keep Jonah Williams around, you get another position versatile guy, you draft 2 starters in the draft. Now you only really got 1 weak link. You got some inexperience up front. And I definitely wouldn't let any of the contracts that they've given out, most notably the Bobby Hart contract, prevent me from signing anybody. Right. You bite the bullet. If you got to take some lumps with some bad money, so be it. But Joe, you mentioned Penei Sewell. No matter what, Cincinnati looking at a top 3 pick, which means they're going to come on the clock again around 36. And this feels like a really sweet spot when you start thinking about, okay, is Raeshawn Slater from Northwestern still going to be around here if he doesn't go in the first round? He's another guy who I think has some inside-outside versatility. You think about Alex Leatherwood, who at Alabama has played right guard and left tackle, another guy with positional versatility. Those kinds of players, not to mention whether or not Creed Humphrey's still on the board. And I think Creed Humphrey, with his size at 6'5", 315, has the ability to play guard as well. Elijah Vera Tucker from USC. He's played guard, and this year he's playing left tackle, taking over for Austin Jackson for the USC Trojans. The list is long, and they are in prime position to add 2 starters to the offensive line with their first 2 picks with positional versatility. You got one already in Jonah Williams, and let's sign 1 or 2 of them in free agency as well.
Yeah, man. I think the list keeps going. You've got potentially Jalen Mayfield from Michigan.
Yep.
Christian Darrisaw, Virginia Tech. Liam Eichenberg, Notre Dame, feels like the sweet spot for him around the 30s. Landon Dickerson from Alabama. This guy at Florida State, he's a 5-star recruit. He can't stay healthy. Alabama's getting quality production from him on the interior offensive line. So I think starting caliber offensive linemen could bleed into the 3rd round. Cincinnati's going to have plenty of opportunities to get this right in front of Joe Burrow.
So we'll have a sticky note that says Penei Sewell no matter what, and a second sticky note that goes O-line at 36. No matter what.